Hey everyone, it's Michael with another travel and credit card video discussion. And so the topic for discussion will be hotel credit cards. I don't know if everyone has ever thought about applying for these hotel credit cards, but I'm going to get into discussion very shortly. So one thing to note is that we will discuss in the big four, which will be Marriott, Hilton, IHG, and Hyatt. Please keep in note that, and don't be so overwhelmed when you see these high sign-up bonuses because they seem high, but remember when I break down the point cents per point, then you can determine if it's a great value for these cards. And also lastly, I will not review every hotel card. I only review their most valuable card, or at least the one with the highest annual fee, because there's so many to review. And also it's the one they probably want you to apply for anyway. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first brand we're going to talk about is Marriott Properties, and known as Marriott Bonvoy. It is one of the largest with over 32 brands, 8,500 properties in 138 countries. Some of the properties you know by hand, as you've seen domestically and internationally, such as the Courtyard, Sheraton, higher end branches of the Ritz-Carlton and St. Regis. And I'm going to, as we're pulling up some of the scroll video to show you some of the properties. And like I said, it's a lot, one of the bigger chains, at least in the hotel game. And then as we go through the current credit card we're talking about, it's the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant American Express card. Hefty annual fee of $650, and the current sign-up bonus right now is 150,000 points spent in 6,000 in 6 months. You can also earn up an additional 50,000 points after you stay 6 eligible nights till January 31st, 2024, and this current sub bonus or sign-up bonus ends in August 9th, 2023. So let's talk about the Marriott points here. Like I said, high sign-up bonus, but is it really worth it? Well, they're actually averaging 0.5, 0.6 cents per point. And the way I calculated with all the examples going forward will be, I pull up hotel properties, you divide the cash price by the points, and that's what you get. And I'm pulling here on the side, you can see here. That's why it's, like I said, it sounds great, but like I said, you be the judge on that going forward. So now let's go on to the multipliers for this card here, as we've got 6x on Marriott stays, we've got 3x on restaurants on air travel purchases, and then 2x on everything else. So those are the multipliers. Now let's talk about some extra perks of this credit card, such as $300 dining credit, which can be split into 25 increments monthly, which can be used at restaurants. And we've got complimentary platinum status, which is basically a middle tier status for Marriott. Nothing really crazy. I think you get some water, something like that. Not really a great benefit, at least for this card. And then the $100 property credit, like I said, is not great. It's only for the higher end properties, as I discussed in the beginning with the St. Regis, I believe, and Ritz-Carlton. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, at least for a budget traveler, because unless you're already there, you spend a lot of money, and so a $100 credit kind of doesn't really work in great favor, to be honest. So that's kind of the thing, at least with Marriott credit card. And then we'll move on to one thing that makes it probably the most valuable part of the credit card is the free night, which is valued up to 88,000 points. And that's a value of about, we do the math here, about almost $500 if you do it by the 0.6 cents per point. So when you think about that and obviously the $25 monthly credit will basically offset that $600 annual fee. And for me, if you're a Marriott loyalist and you find value in the perks, more of the free night, it's a keeper. Now, I don't know if I would keep it. I don't have the card currently, but it's highly consideration, because my perspective on credit cards is if you have a free night that has value, then it's highly considerable and almost a keeper going forward after year one as well. That's a key, after year one. Okay, so let's move on to the next brand, which is Hilton Properties. It is known with over 19 brands and over 7,000 properties in over 120 countries. Some of the domestic brands you've seen include the Hilton Garden Inn, Home2 Suites, True by Hilton, and then you've got the higher end brands such as Old of Astoria and the Conrad here. So as we scroll down here, you'll see some of these nice end brands and just a variety of Hilton, one of the bigger players next to Marriott, really. So as we go to the credit card, we're going to talk about the Hilton American Express Aspire card. It is our top tier card, and I'm going to pull up the specifics right now. And we've got a signing bonus of $150,000 after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. Fabulous. And you got that $450 annual fee. Oh, nice. But as we pull up the examples here to show you the cent per point, Hilton is averaging actually between about 0.4, 0.5 cents per point, even 0.6. But like I said, it's all dependent on variability and location. So once again, that signing bonus is, like I said, it looks high, but it really depends now when you see how much it really costs. So let's get into the multipliers now for this Hilton Aspire card. We've got 14x on Hilton purchases, 7x on travel on Amex Travel Portal, and 3x on everything else. Let's talk about extra benefits now. We've got the $250 resort credit, which is actually pretty nice. It can be applied to resort fees, food, taxes, stuff like that. So very good to have, really, to be honest. The $250 airline credit, not great, but can be still used. Basically, you lock in an airline for 1 year. You can apply it to purchases, stuff like that. Airline stuff, basically. Baggage fee, stuff like that. You can't change it once you make the decision. That's the bummer on that part. And as we move along here, we've got $100 property credit, which is basically the same as the one with Marriott. Only applies to those higher end properties I mentioned, the Waldorf and Conrad. Like I said, unless you're already going there, it's a plus. But generally, if you're very economical, you're probably not. So we'll move on to the status you get, which is Diamond status. We're going to pull the graphic here, and it's the highest for Hilton. Pretty good. I mean, like I said, you're getting perks such as food and beverage credit, room upgrades, you're getting lounge access, and then one perk that they don't really tell you what to do is that 5th night free night. So meaning that if you pick four nights of awardability, the 5th night is free. So basically, like, you pay 5 nights for 4, basically. So that's one. It's technically a free night for Hilton, but you kind of have to pay for it, so it's different, really. And so really, as we summarize now about Hilton, is that I think it can be a keeper if you're a Hilton loyalist, but not necessarily if you don't consider that. Free night is important, but it's not like a Marriott free night. You have to kind of earn it. So even for me, I'm still tiering because I actually have the Aspire card. That's right there. It's the second tier card under the Surpass card, not Aspire. And it has a $90 annual fee, and that's why I'm in the game right now, and I don't know if that's what I want to do going forward, but the credits do offset it by a lot. If you get the 5th night and the resort credit, it does offset it a lot, so that's in consideration. But for me, it's kind of a maybe, at least for keeping. So feel free to decide if you want this card going forward and after year 1, based on the credits I have provided. All right, let's move on to the third property, and this is known as IH3, which didn't really know until now, which is Intercontinental Hotel Groups. It's got 18 brands, over 6,000 properties worldwide. High-end brands, mid-end brands that we pull here. We've got, like I said, the lower end brands, Holiday Inn Express. Higher brands such as Intercontinental and Crown Plaza. And we've even got Candlewood Suites and Staybridge Suites as their lower end brands. So the card they have that we will discuss is the IHG Premier card. There is a personal business, but we're going to go personal. And the current sign-up bonus right now on the screen is 140,000 points for 3K spent in the first 3 months. And with IHG, like I said, to calculate that CPP or cents per point, when I pull the examples right now, you're going to see it's 0.6 cents per point. So like I said, as you've noticed so far, they're all kind of in the same wave, with these high sign-up bonuses. That's why it feels like it's inflated. So anyway, let's move to the multipliers. 5x on dining, travel, gas. We've got up to 26x on IHG booking properties. Unbelievable. And then 3x under. So it's a great card to have, but to me, as I go to my review, I'll discuss why it looks great, but maybe not. The annual fee is $99. And like I said, there is one basically credit there for $50 to use on United Airlines, which is kind of interesting, very specific. But the real big player here is that anniversary free night. As I mentioned, with free nights with credit cards, up to 40,000 points, which if you do the CPP, that's about $200.40 value. And then you also get that global entry TSA pre-check at $100 for every 4 years. So along with that, your anniversary night and your $50, that totally blows that $99 annual fee out of the water. And for me, because of that tremendous value, even with the 0.6 cents per point, it's a keeper. keeper for year 1, 2, and 3. Because that free night will always add more than the annual fee, even though you don't get great membership status overall with the boost. But that oversets it all. So IHG Premier, keeper in my book, and you can use it to book your higher end or lower end properties going forward. And for the last brand we're going to talk about is World of Hyatt, which I discuss in a lot of my videos. They've got over 1,500 properties and 23 brands, which is the smallest hotel chain out of the big four here. So that's the reason why it's kind of tight with their properties as they try to increase. Some high-end or independent properties considered the JDV collection, Thompson. We've got the Dreamless, we've got the Unbound, a lot of these European brands. And we've got your regular Hyatts, the Hyatt Regency, Park Hyatt, which I've been to. A lot of Hyatts, basically, high-centric for the properties really here. And for the World of Hyatt credit card, it's pretty mediocre. It's got a $30,000 sign-up bonus in 3 months for $3,000 spend. Not really great. There's additional 30 you can make, but if you have to spend like I think over $10,000 in the next rest of your 6 months, crazy. So unless you're crazy in the Hyatt, which some people are, it's obtainable but not likely. Multipliers include 9x on Hyatt property stage, which is good, and then 2x across the board on everything else. Everything else, transmit, commute, subscription, stuff like that, gas. So it's pretty just very mediocre. Like I said, a $90 annual fee, I think $99 or $85 annual fee. And where it really shines is not the Discover status you get, which is a middle tier status. You don't really get anything except maybe a bottle of water. Is that free night. As we know with Hyatt, as I totally skipped it, that we know Hyatt's CPP, cents per point, is much higher than the other hotel brands. And people say it's about 1 to 2 cents per point. As if you see the examples here, it's crazy. You can see it go from 1, 2, 3, 4 cents per point. And that's the reason why Hyatt properties are very valuable, and also the points when you can transfer them to. So with that free night, as I pull up the category list, you can get up to a 1 to 4 category hotel up to basically 12,000 points. So if you do that evaluation on the points, it's about $200, which basically makes that a $200 redemption approximately. And as we go down to the end here, like I said, there's not much about the card. The fact is the under $100 annual fee, but you get that free night and that evaluation on their CPP makes this just a keeper card going forward plus year 1. If you scarcely, you can throw it for like a subscription or something like that, or something that's 2x and just pay it, scarcely, or use it for Hyatt stays. But like I said, because of the CPP and that free night award, it's a keeper going past year 1 and 2. So my recommendation, keep it if you want it, and if you're Hyatt loyalist, definite play going forward. Hey, so as we come to the closing of this video, I just wanted to get everyone's thoughts and comments on my analysis for the hotel properties and chains. Please let me know what you think about the properties, the credit cards associated with them, and what do you think about, the perks, the annual fees, and what you get out of it? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it past year 1, only for the signing bonus? Please leave your comments below and let me know, as I want to create more content going forward, as I want to do more credit card and travel videos for you and for the audience. And like I said, if you like this video, please slap the like button for that YouTube algorithm, as it really helps generate the buzz and see if you guys like the contents coming forward as well. And of course, as always, please subscribe so you can follow up on any type of new videos that are coming up going forward for this channel. As I say always, thanks everyone for joining in. And like I say, life is short, travel more everyone. Have a good day.